You're in the middle of an English conversation and suddenly you forget the words you want to say. If you've ever felt your mind going blank when speaking, don't worry. This is a very common experience. But why does it happen? Why do we forget words? When we're speaking a foreign language, our brain is doing a lot of work. You have to remember how to structure a sentence, which word goes first. So when it comes to thinking of the exact word to use, our mind sometimes goes blank.
So it could be a sort of processing overload that you can't find the word because you spent so much energy trying to remember what order the words are supposed to go in.
Another thing that makes it hard is that often we only know words as a translation of our first language. So it can be hard to access the words in your brain straight away, because you have an extra step to find that word. So now we know a bit more about why you're forgetting words, how can we make things easier? Something that is really important is to learn how to find ways around the word you've forgotten. So if you get stuck on one word, you shouldn't just freeze and give up. Try to describe the word instead. And at the BBC Learning English workshop, these students are doing exactly that. They're playing a game where they have to describe a word, but there are 3 words they're not allowed to use. So they have to really use their skills to find other ways to describe the word. Let's see how they get on.
It's related to models. You know, the models, they walk the...
Heels.
Yeah, about the dress, but the general, fashion, yeah.
Forgetting words is a fear that many of us have during a conversation. Does this happen to you a lot during conversations in real life?
Yes. Sometimes I feel panic and I can't just find the words in my brain. Yeah.
And what do you do when that happens?
I take a deep breath and I say, just 1 minute, I need to think.
That's a good tip, to have something to say, like, just wait a minute. That's a really good tip.
So that's a fun activity to try in a group. But what can you do when you forget words in everyday conversations? Learn some buying time phrases to give yourself extra time to think. For example, just a minute, I need to think. Or bear with me, I can't find the right word. Get used to describing the word when you can't think of it. Learn phrases like, it's that thing that, or you can find it in. For example, to describe a table, you could say, it's that thing you sit at to eat meals. You can usually find it in a dining room. Use other ways to communicate. Hand gestures. Search for a photo on your phone to show what you mean. And lastly, relax. Take a deep breath. There's no rush. People are more patient than you think. If you enjoyed this video, we talk more about forgetting words in the podcast episode. Find it on our website, bbclearningenglish.com.